If you're going to create eagles rather than ducks, what you got to do is you got to treat your people right. You got to treat your people right. And what you need is you have to have effective training, giving your people the right start to help them grow. Now, do you have an orientation program? A lot of companies don't have an orientation program. At Disney, nobody can start work until they go to Traditions, which is a 2-day course. And they talk about Walt's vision, and they teach the 4 operating values there. And so everybody gets to decide. And they don't even, 20% of the people don't get to stay there. You're going to hear Michael Eisner tomorrow, and he'll tell you some great Disney stories. But one of the key things is to get people on the bus who are the right people. And you do that by training them. And in training them, you're going to start to find out whether they're right people. You also need a performance management system that's done the right way. And what I mean by that is that there's 3 parts of managing people's performance. There is performance planning, where you agree on goals and objectives. Then after you do that, there's day-to-day coaching, where you're trying to help people accomplish the goals. With performance planning, the traditional pyramid can be alive and well, because if your people disagree with you about goals, you win. Why? Because you're representing the goals of the organization. But once you move to the second step, day-to-day coaching, the pyramid gets turned upside down, because now you're working with your people. You're praising their progress, you're redirecting their efforts if they're off and all. And then finally, you get to performance evaluation, when you sit down and evaluate people's performance over time. As I travel around the world, what do you think is the most time-consuming part of those 3 aspects of managing people's performance? Planning, coaching, or evaluation? In most organizations, what is it? Evaluation. And man, people want to show me their forms to fill out and all this kind of stuff and all. And I want to tell you, evaluation should be the byproduct of what you do in the first 2. But a lot of organizations, they do a pretty good job at planning, and they set goals. But what do they do with the goals after they set them? They file them. Until when? Until somebody says, you got your annual performance review coming up, and everybody's running around bumping into each other, trying to find their goals. The least time-consuming activity, and the most important time-consuming activity, is day-to-day coaching. That's where the servant part of servant leadership takes place, and that's just so key to people. And so I taught at the university for years, and 10 years in fact, and I was investigated by some of the best faculty committees. I drove the faculty crazy, and the thing that drove them the most crazy is the first day of class, I always gave them out the final examination. And the faculty said, what are you doing? I said, I'm confused. They said, you acted. I said, I thought we were supposed to teach these students. You are, but don't give them the questions in the final. And I'd say, not only am I going to give them the questions in the final, what do you think I'm going to do all semester? I'm going to teach them the answers. So when they get to the final exam, they get A. Life's all about getting A's, not some stupid normal distribution curve. There's a lot of you sitting here in an organization where you all have to screw a certain percentage of your people. Boy, that really builds great trust. How many of you go out and hire losers? We lost some of our worst performers last year. We want to hire some new poor performers so we can fill the low slots. No, you either go out and hire winners that you steal from other companies, or you hire potential winners who you think are going to be good if you train them. So you don't hire a normal distribution curve. Some of you even have to rank order your people. Is there anything more stupid than that? Suppose you got all good people and you got to make 1 of 1 and 1 of 7. That's going to be a real team building effort. So you got to have the right performance thing. And then that all based on the last one. People are not your organization's most important resource. They are your organization. When they go home, you got nothing.